Welcome to the Pitt Crew. I'm Camille, you're attending, and I have my residents with me.
I'm Mal.
And I'm Robert.
And today we're covering episode 15, 9 p.m., and we don't know what we're going to retitle this one. We're going to figure it out as we go along. But you guys can comment and let us know what you would title the episode. Obviously, by the time you're hearing this, it will have a title. But I want to know what you guys would title this.
Much like the characters in the show, we are very tired. It is very late. It's almost 9 p.m. for us. We're doing a very method recording. So just so you know where we're at.
Yeah, method recording, and we are all tired from the shifts we've run today. It's also election day. If I had a nickel for every time I recorded a podcast episode on election night and I wasn't feeling some level of deep anxiety inside of my soul, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. It's terrible that it's happened twice.
It's a good way to distract yourself.
Election night. You hope for the best and
plan for the worst. Robert, speaking of distracting ourselves, how about you introduce our patient?
Absolutely. Our patient presents with a case of talking to cartoon animals in peds.
You know what? I've been there.
Been there, done that. I remember vaguely when I was, a child being taken care of by a pediatrician. I remember vaguely having like mental ideas, ideas in the mind as they tend to be about like the animals and stuff.
Mental ideas as opposed to the other kind of ideas that sometimes occur other places.
Yeah. But no, it was really funny to be like, to go through my memories and be like, that doctor is still alive, by the way. That doctor, like, my pediatrician is still alive. He seemed old to me when I was a kid, and it's been like 20 years. I checked up on him. He's like 70 something. I'm like, you mean to tell me the entire fuck ass time you were taking care of me, you were going through your 50s?
Wild.
They never quit. Elephant in the room. I have a really horrible lisp. When I said residents, I was like, oh shit.
Someone got braces.
Someone has dental insurance that's good enough for braces. Could it be
me? I have so much wax in my mouth right now. I'm actually using these things called orthodots, which is I'm like, great, you named it something that I can't pronounce with braces. Orthodots. And they stick over your teeth, and they're kind of like gummy texture almost. And it's better than wax because it doesn't come apart, So it's great. I have like 8 of them in my mouth right now because I'm in a lot of pain. So here we go. It took me 3 hours to watch this episode, first of all. And I watched the previously on, and like the anxious music is insane. And it just reminded me of like the stress of watching week by week and how we're nearly back to that. We're what, 2 months away?
We're 2 months away.
Oh, God.
From the next episode. Hey, y'all, give us ideas of what to cover. We have a few ideas, but tell us what you want to see us cover and talk about in this 2-month window we have. Yep. We no longer have the ability to be like, oh, one of us is unavailable. We can't talk about the episode. This is the last episode. We made it. We made it.
Finally.
We made it. We know you guys are excited. We appreciate your patience. Again, this is, a hobby for us, but we love to do it, and we love getting to share it with everybody. So, yeah.
It's a labor of love,
yeah.
for sure.
I mean, like, definitely, like, American Sirens, we're going to read the book. We're going to talk about that book. Okay, so the officer from early in the mass casualty incident is here. He walks in while McKay is being arrested or cuffed. And he seems to be with, we never get a name or a title or anything for this, like, large man in charge who's with him. So I Googled the stars on his collar. The 4 stars means he's, like, the chief of police. So apparently that's who this guy is. That's, from what I could tell, that's what he seems to be. So that is the guy.
Chief of police is there to handle this, like, parole violation.
Right. Instead of straight up being, like, at the scene of the crime. Yeah, crazy.
Right, for sure.
So Robbie kind of, like, bullshits, and he's like, I couldn't have saved your officer without her. Which is not quite true.
It's a little bit of, I rub your back, you rub my back, please get my
Yeah.
doctorate.
but I mean, honestly, things cannot be just black and white. Like, there has to be a gray area, and this is very firmly in that gray area. Like, come on.
Yeah.
This is the
Yes.
most understandable reason to attack an ankle monitor. Like,
It works. McKay gets out of cuffs, which, hey, I don't have this experience because I didn't watch this on a week-to-week basis. I watched
you
these episodes
binged.
immediately afterwards. McKay getting in cuffs was like, the episode closing act, the last thing that happened in episode 14, and you spend a week being like, oh my god, what's going to happen to her?
Damn. We waited a whole week.
And then at the beginning of
Camille
episode
and
15, it's like 5 minutes and boom, she's out of cuffs again.
Yeah. Like, not even 5 minutes, because you have to factor in the fact that, like, HBO includes, like, the previews and the previously on as, like, part of the episode time. So, yeah, it's crazy. And it kind of just, like, cheapens that whole experience of, like, oh my god, the cliffhanger, because nothing happens. But I guess in this format,
figure that this was what was going to happen. Like, at the end of the day, there was no part of me that was like, oh my god, McKay's going to go to jail or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she's going to get out of it. It was just a matter of, like, how are we going to get her out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost felt like they could have been like, oh, this is her exit out of the episode, but then, like, at some point, somebody hears from her and she's all good, like, she just had to go down there and explain things or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. So that I was like, oh, mwah, like, sick cliffhanger. Not a lot of, like, payout on that. So Gloria comes down and basically wants, like, the down low on what's going on, how everything was. And so they saw 112 patients. They had 6 casualties. 71 went upstairs to surgery and were stabilized. So 39 of those were red, 32 were pink. There were 24 yellow, and a lot of those are in orthopedic surgery, which is like bones, tendons, ligaments, joints, nerves, all that kind of stuff. So definitely stuff you would see from, like, a gunshot wound. And they've already discharged 8.
My understanding is that saying that there are 106 patients that they, like, saved is probably putting a little bit the cart before the horse. You have 106 patients who are currently stable, but a lot of them are all very, very critical condition and could die at,
Someone could still die, right? You can also tell, like, Gloria is very proud of Robbie, and you can see it on her face. She's very proud of him. She's very happy with her people. I feel fondness for her in this moment, just because you can see that it's not what. You're laughing at my fondness.
I'm so sorry. Every time somebody says fondness, I think of that meme that's like, there are no sexual feelings there, but I have a fondness for him as if we once picked apples together in, like, Papa's orchard. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm sorry, that's what I thought of.
No, but that seems like how you feel about Jonathan Bailey.
Yes.
Sexiest man alive, Jonathan Bailey. I have a fondness for him.
The way I'm usually the one to reference a niche meme. Wow,
I know.
my job.
What the fuck's going
on?
Robert,
do you at least know what the meme I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
I'm probably misquoting it. Hold on.
Wait, Mal, you're on memes that I can't comprehend.
Okay, hold on. Now I need to see. Okay, it seems I've grown quite fond of you, though there are no sexual urges or desires. You come to me like a long-lost friend whom I once picked apples with in Papa's orchard. That's the...
Okay, you say Papa's orchard. I would say it's probably Papa's orchard.
It probably is. It's probably Papa's orchard.
Oh no, Papa!
Yes, I don't think that I have a fondness for Gloria, like a long-lost friend whom I once picked apples with in Papa's orchard, but I feel that way about, like, Whitaker.
So, but, like, I appreciate her in this moment. And then she immediately, like, answers the phone and she's like, oh, hell no, we gotta open this hospital back up. We gotta be open for walk-ins. Get the doors open. I don't give a shit. And everyone just seems exhausted because, like, of course, that's exhausting. But also, on the bright side, wouldn't you want your local hospital to be back open as soon as possible if you needed help?
It's not a Taco Bell. It can't just remain closed for overnight,
Yeah.
But also,
this is a Waffle House, basically.
These people who have been working for, like, the last 15 hours, linger for way too long. Like, if there
Oh
was
my
an
God.
event,
Yeah.
if there was a mass casualty event and then the hospital was open and I needed help right then, I would honestly prefer to have doctors who were well rested and hadn't been working since 7 a.m. that morning. But maybe that's just me.
It takes an entire other hour, like a whole other
Yeah.
hour. I went to say another, like a whole nother. Is that a
Yeah.
Southern thing to
A
say,
whole
or is that
other
just an
hour.
American?
A whole nother
Because
hour.
it's not an actual. Is that Southern though, or just American?
Maybe a
Nother
little
is
bit of
not a
both.
word. A whole
Another.
nother.
Whole nother.
Robert, would you say that? A whole nother? Because I would.
Yeah, I feel like that's fine to say.
Okay.
A whole
Might
nother.
just
Okay,
be.
well.
A whole
Well, we
nother.
weren't asking if it was fine. We were just asking if it was like a regional thing or if that's the thing everybody says.
No one needs my approval.
Listeners, do you say another?
I actually live only for Robert's approval, and before I do anything, I text and I'm like, Robert, is it okay if I go to the bathroom right now? And if they say no, then I'm screwed, you
Go
know?
piss, girl. Go piss, girl. So Mel
I'm gonna start texting Camille instead for permission.
Okay, cool. um so we can tell that Mel is really struggling because she doesn't understand that, like, Flynn's parents are being handed like facts and assurances in a very uncertain world, and they're still denying to do a spinal tap, which is perfectly safe, but they don't care about the facts.
Right.
So it tracks for her that this does not compute for her. It tracks not only just because of like an autism perspective, but also just like an empath, someone who works in healthcare, just being like, I don't understand. I've given you all the facts. What do you mean no? But she's not really ready to go home yet. She's like, now she's got herself attached to this boy. So I also really like that when Robbie comes in, when he says, you know, like, how's it going? And Shen's like, there's no change in, you know, the patient or his parents or the family. I like that he doesn't even try to keep his voice down. He's just like, yeah, there's no change in the patient or the family. Like, sick.
Listen, everybody here has had a day and they deserve to be a little bit bitchy, and I stand by that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Robbie tries explaining to the father that this is the best option, and his wife and daughter are not in the room. And again, we just have this amazing sound editing. While Robbie is like midway through his sentence, we can tell that someone is entering the room because we can hear the noise of the general emergency room.
Right.
And the mother and daughter come back in, and the mom's like, the heck's going on in here? And then she's like, oh, he already looks better. And everyone's like, no, he's not better. Like, what kind of psychopath? And I'm like, yeah, it's because he's got fluids. He's still gravely ill. Like, what is wrong with you? We have one of Robbie's most insane decisions, which is to take the father to the fucking morgue.
This nuts. I can't believe he did this.
Nuts. I can't believe that he did this, and I also can't believe it kind of low-key worked.
It did, but also, like, I'm coming from all sides of this, is like, this is so disrespectful to the victims and their families.
Oh, 100%.
To, like, show their bodies, their dead bodies. I mean, they're covered, but you can still see a little bit. And, like, to show that to use as a guilt trip is insane.
It's not a good thing to do, but it was an effective thing to do. And I think at this point of Robbie's day, he was looking for any reason, or like he was looking for like any method to get these parents to do what's right for their children. He has seen so many children die today. A little bit through some neglect from parents, but not like intentionally like super duper bad neglect. Just like, oh, I wasn't aware what my kid was doing at the time kind of neglect. Right. This is like actual neglect of like, oh, I'm being told what my kid needs in order to have a chance at surviving, and I'm just saying no to it.
But I think I come from the mindset that, like, and I'm sorry to be the one who's always referencing school shootings, but, like, would it be effective to take photos from those shootings and show them to people who don't seem to give a crap and try to convince them to give a crap? Very likely, yes, that's a horrific thing to have to look at, but also, we don't need to be showing photos of dead children to people. And then, okay, so we have Santos coming in, and she's like, there's a code tan being called, and she's like, what's a code tan? And I'm like, enough with the codes! No more codes today! Like, I don't need to know. God.
Codes, and they all have a color, and I just so
Apparently, the rainbow's all super depressing.
Oh
They could be like
no.
in
code
a
rainbow,
hospital.
and it's like someone
Unsurprising.
killed a unicorn. Oh.
What is a code tan? Because I know that code colors have slightly different meanings depending on the hospital you work in.
So they said it was for this show, for the Pit, it's like an injury or an illness within the hospital.
I'm not going to say they're making it up for the sake of having something to say, but I am saying I can't find a code 10 when I do a basic Google search. So if any doctors out there, particularly doctors that work in Pennsylvania, want to confirm a code 10 existing, please do so.
Hey, I mean, maybe there's a code whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy, someone threw up in the hallway. So, like, Santos's knowledge of what drugs are available online as suicide kits is so heartbreaking to me. Like, that's so depressing.
Yeah, that being something that you can just buy is wild to me.
That's
like,
so nefarious.
yeah.
Like, who? Who?
Yeah, who is selling that?
Oh my god. Just ugh. And then I will never not get a kick out of the journalist being like throughout this episode, and the fact that he's like telling the cops now that he's being held against his will, and that Santos is just like, nah. And the cop just walks away. Do you guys know what a sturgeon face is?
It's just really funny to see this guy kind of get. I mean, yeah, no, I was trying to be like, oh, does he actually deserve? Like, no, he actively tried to record like dead and dying people for clout.
Yeah.
And well, not for clout, for his job, presumably as a reporter. What if he's one of those like shitty, like indie reporters
TikTok
who just like
reporters?
does a podcast? Yeah, or like a TikTok reporter, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we see Mohan and Javati, and they both look very unwell, but in very different ways. The range of the acting in this episode is really incredible. And then we have like Langdon very much trying to look humble with like his hands in his pockets, trying to like stay small and not say much. And it's interesting. He suggests that Robbie not report him, which is a choice. That's interesting. I'm sure that Langdon thinks that's his best case scenario.
I think we can talk more about this in general when we get to the Langdon and Robbie scene, because I have thoughts. I had thoughts that I've expressed to you months ago at this point that I've also alluded to in this podcast.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about this. We very much disagreed.
We very much disagreed, but also now I think I've changed my mind on a lot of things. We'll get to that discussion.
Oh, okay. There's no penis, but there's a lot of pubes.
Pubes.
So yeah, this Kotan is somebody who was crushed at the loading dock by a vehicle while like unloading supplies. He works at the hospital. And Amit says they're doing all their like diagnostic stuff, and he says meatus. And if you're like me and you watch with subtitles, it looks like meatus.
They're talking about his dingling.
No.
Oh no, I can see your meatus.
No.
Hey, what's up, big dick?
It's not big anymore. It got crushed.
Oh my god.
You
Or
ever seen
maybe
a
it's
flat
bigger
penis?
because it's
You want
flatter?
to?
Okay.
Oh my god. Anyway, I watched with subtitles and I saw the word meatus and I was like, meatus? And then he said it and I was like, oh, I forgot. We have so many incredible lines in this episode. So one of them is, looks like two old white guys poached our patient, which is incredible.
Which is incredible. And now, for the long-awaited Robert Horny moment, I get one. Mal still hasn't used yours. I don't know if you're going to use yours by the end of this episode, but
I will not.
something I'm going to say that'll be censored and only Camille and Mal will say is that me looking at this scene and them looking at each other and being like, oh, I know you're not talking about us.
My god.
Ew.
My god.
Oh my god. No.
All that will be censored.
I don't think I ship Robbie with anybody, like at all. Therapy.
I mean, Yeah, let's ship him with therapy. The only threesome I want to see is Abbott and Robbie having the same therapist.
Oh my god. Now that we've recovered, Santos has a moment where her life experience really does shine through with this patient. And she handles this one very well, as opposed to the other blunders that she's had. And I don't know if, like, what's the difference between the ones that she has just royally fucked up and this one? Is this one more immediately like a life is in danger for her? Because all of them have hit home. So, what is it about this one? Is it that she's fucked up so much throughout the day already? Is it that now she's seen so much death? Like, what's the difference? Any thoughts? I don't want to say she's had that much development in a day. I mean, I'm not saying she couldn't have, but
Yeah.
I think it's less of like character change and it's more of like exploring more of her character because she'll go into why she
right.
like when she talks to this kid, she'll go more into her own little backstory about why she's very protective of people who are like suicidal.
I also think there's been a lot this season, and especially in this episode, just kind of emphasizing that like Santos has good instincts. Like she kind of knows when something isn't right, and we've seen her kind of follow that impulse a couple times throughout the season, and each time she's been right. Like the times that she's messed up have been because she's like looking to do something cool, like in a medical procedure way. But when it comes to like supporting vulnerable people and like recognizing that someone is in crisis, like she's been right every single time. She was right about Langdon. She was right. I mean, we'll get to it later. She's right when she follows Whitaker up to where he's staying in the hospital.
Right about the
and then
Duns.
she's right about the Duns. She's right about this guy. Like, I don't know. I think if she doesn't stick with emergency medicine, I think she needs to be involved in some way with like people in crisis, like crisis support.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, we just re-released our episode with Paige, who's a social worker. And she was saying, like, if she weren't in emergency medicine, she would love to see Santos in social work.
Mm-hmm.
But she has good instincts for that. So,
yeah.
Also, just like bravo to the actors on the show, because I should have kept a tally over the season. The amount of times that I like out loud was like, oh, they are not well. They are not doing good. Like, you can just see it on their faces. They are not doing good. And then, like, we found out earlier that Mohan arrives early for work. Like, she always arrives early because she is already there seeing a patient when Robbie gets into work, and she's in the background with a patient. And so now she's been at work for an extra 3 hours, and she's trying to stay even later, which is wild work. I wonder if they're paid hourly or salary, because I'm like, girl, if you're not getting paid extra for this, please
Go
sleep.
home.
Go home.
Go
right?
home, Mohan.
So
honestly, yes. Go home. Go home, Samira.
I haven't had many instances of this, but I have definitely been like, oh, no. Yeah, sure. I've been up for like 1 billion hours. I can keep going. The most recent example was I had planned a get together with friends to go to Montauk, and I woke up at 4 a.m, drove everyone there, hung out, drove everyone back, got home at 2 a.m. I should not have driven that night.
Yes, you should have stayed at my apartment.
Whatever. I was hallucinating towards the end of my drive where I was like, oh, I've been up for 22 hours.
Yes,
I am
and
not
after
doing
the fact,
okay.
you started telling us all like it was some funny thing. They're like, haha, yeah, I was hallucinating on the drive home. And I was like, Robert, that is not fun. That is not a fun story.
It's funny because I survived. It wouldn't be funny if I got into an accident.
Honestly, it's not even funny that you survived. I'm like upset that you went through that.
Oh, wow. It's not. It's actually, it would have been funnier if I died. You heard it here first from Mel.
Yeah. Well, we know Robert and I aren't really friends.
Yeah.
I was really just looking forward to being able to do things in my life without your permission, Robert. That's
Did watching Beetlejuice together mean nothing to you?
Also, I just want everyone to know that Robert was eating fruit by the foot in a Broadway theater at
Let me fucking live. My
because
God.
I just think that's very funny.
If there's any theater where you can just raw dog eat any candy you want, it'll be Beetlejuice the fucking musical.
Honestly, that's fair.
Pop rocks with your mouth open in a theater. Okay, so We're checking through bays and beds. We're making sure everybody's where they should be. But then there's this young white man where there should be an elderly Asian woman, Mrs. Chu. And when Dana asks Mel and Whitaker, Whitaker walks up and goes, "Yeah, I don't think that's her." He's so serious. He doesn't have brain cells. He has like 2 Skittles in his head.
Whitaker needs to live with a lesbian faster so his A, he loses the fuck ass Amish farm boy haircut, and B, he actually develops more brain cells.
No, in place of brain cells, you know those magnets that you toss and they go like click, 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 click together? That's what's going on in Whitaker's head, I think.
They're just
magnets. Then Langdon comes up and he wants to talk to Dana privately. And this is a really emotional scene. But right before we get into it, I realized I thought there was so much more Donahue in the show than there actually ended up being. Like, in my brain, he was a constant and always there, but I don't think he actually was.
He's there when he's needed for, like, the cool moments.
Yeah. He's there to fist bump a high five, you know?
As one does. Who amongst us hasn't accidentally fist bumped a high five?
I mean, technically, the fist bump was the intentional one, but, you know, turkey. Isn't that what that is?
Oh my god.
Yeah, when you go to fist bump someone and then you stick your hand up, or like you go to high five someone and then you do the little fist and it's a turkey, or when you go, llama. Anyway, Donahue will be back for season 2. I do know that. Season, the way I just said season 2.
Season 2.
So Langdon starts asking Dana what she heard, why he went home, and he, like, we can tell that he very much trusts her, but he's also trying to figure out, like, exactly what she knows so that he doesn't get caught up in saying something too much, or he won't say something that she's going to know isn't true. Patrick Ball has referred to Catherine Lanassa as the hot mom he never wanted, which I love. But this scene, I was like, oh, it's Patrick Ball's hot mom. So he says that Robbie believes something that's not entirely true. And Dana's like, well, that doesn't sound like Robbie. And I'm like, okay, but also, like, have we not all been like, wow, Robbie's fucking off today?
Yes. We've all recognized that Robbie's unwell, defense. So
yeah. But then Langdon says that he needs her to have his back on this, and I need you to vouch for me, and that is so shitty. That's not cool.
Especially since she doesn't know what it is you're being, like, shady about, what you think you're in trouble for.
Right. Like, I don't like it. I understand that he is panicking. And this is a very normal addict reaction to being caught, right? Is to, like, just to spiral, to panic, to try to make up any excuse, any plan, any way to get out of things, find people who will back you up, all this kind of stuff. Like, that's a very accurate reaction, right? It's still horrible. And it's, not great. Admittedly, just not great. Dana then lets it slip that she's thinking about quitting, right? And Langdon, like, spirals, because he's like, oh my god, it's like the whole fucking world's, like, coming apart. Like, you can't do that. We need you. Robbie needs you. I need you. Like, which is also very shitty to make this about you. Not that I wouldn't have had that reaction in the moment, but, like, this is TV. I can judge someone for doing something that I would also do and not admit that I would do the same thing. But, like, this is about her. This is not about you. But I guess it could be, you know, playing to her desire to help others, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
So he does finally tell Dana that Robbie thinks that he's an addict. And I love that Dana asks if he is. And then I also love that the response is, no, what I am is scared. Like, I love this writing. This is such good writing. She also says to listen to Robbie because he'll do what's best for him. And he says what's best for me is being a doctor. And that, to me, is like the crux of Frank Langdon as a character. Mm-hmm. I think that's the perfect way to, like, describe his character, is that he thinks that what's best for him is to be a doctor. I think this is definitely someone who kind of has imposter syndrome, in a way. He's very cocky, very confident, but at the same time, he's like, if I'm not here, a doctor, what the fuck am I? And I'm like, you're a father, you're a husband. The fuck, like, you're so many other things, but this is the thing that defines him, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a very good point, because how would his kids feel if they heard him saying that, like, the best part of his life is being a doctor? Like,
yeah, and I don't know that that's necessarily what he's saying, but I think that,
No.
like, I think that he's saying, like, if I'm not a doctor, I can't provide for my family. Kind of like this is what everything hinges on, right? Like,
right.
maybe he's like, my wife likes me because I'm a doctor. I provide for my kids because I'm a doctor. I help people. I have fun. I'm good at my job. My coworkers like me. My patients like me. What else does he do? You know, I mean, he runs marathons. We know that. He's a marathon runner. Now
And
the
people who
face
run
you just
marathons are
made.
not mentally stable, and I'm going to put that on the record. As someone who just ran her second marathon in the last 4 weeks, I am unwell, everyone. Thanks for asking.
And she's still here to record a podcast. You're welcome.
Well, this is easy. I'm sitting.
I will point out a little Pit Details goof for you. This is not anything I've ever posted, but I will tell you, exclusive on air.
Yes.
The coffee creamer brand that Dana is using is, I think it's pronounced Knudsen or Knudsen. Not quite sure, but that's a California brand. That's not available in Pennsylvania.
Maybe they're importing it. Maybe that's like the one expensive thing that the hospital gets. You know, this is their equivalent of throwing a pizza party. They're just like, you guys get the fancy creamer from California.
Ooh. I totally random tangent, but I looked this brand up, and they have something that they sell that are called doubles, and it's like a mixture of like cottage cheese and then a different fruit topping, which honestly sounds so fucking good to me. I might go to the grocery store after we record this and get some cottage cheese and something
Cottage
soft.
cheese?
Oh my god, I
Cottage
love it
cheese
so
to me
much.
feels as like a savory situation.
Cottage cheese, it depends.
When my mom was in labor with me, she ate strawberries and cottage cheese.
Yeah. As someone who is trying to lose weight and like gain muscle and eat high protein, low calorie, whatever, every fucking recipe that I see
That's
online
cottage cheese.
has cottage cheese. Cottage cheese, honestly, a study of cottage cheese being introduced in like the 70s and 80s or whatever, and how, you know, it became like part of the staple of like the low fat diet trend that really picked up. By the way, the whole that's something we could talk about. The whole history of why fat free became like the dominating diet in America.
Because we're fat phobic?
Yes, but it mainly it's because I forget the name of the scientist right now. There's a scientist who originally discovered the idea that, you know, the reason that people are like the reason obesity is skyrocketing in America is because people are over consuming sugar. However, the sugar industry was like, if you say that out loud, we're gonna lose money. So we're gonna use every single fucking dollar we have to discredit your ass, and you're gonna die a nobody.
Did you get this from what's that show? Somebody ruins everything. What's his name?
Adam ruins everything.
Adam ruins everything. I feel like I think I've seen that. I swear to God, it was like the same episode where he talked about like pasteurization, and that's what I think about all the time. Yeah. No, great show. Very good show.
Every time I see one of those people on the internet being like, I drink raw milk because it's healthy, I'm like, oh, you just want to invite the chance of getting tuberculosis. Got it. Amongst other diseases.
I mean, who doesn't want to get tuberculosis? That's what I've always said.
It's true. She says that all the time.
To be clear, I do not. I've never said that in my life.
So Mel goes back to check on Flynn. He's doing the same as he has been. There's no change. And the mother is like, our family medicine doctor is working on getting him transferred to West Penn. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
How far is that hospital? Like, let's look this shit up. So, okay, it's not that far. It's about 15 minutes away from each other.
So Mohan, again, is not well, TM. She has like this crazy look in her eye. Her hair is messy. She's super jittery. And so I looked it up, and per the National Institutes of Health, approximately 40% of physicians experience high levels of burnout and depersonalization. Wait a minute. Oh, frick. I put screenshots in my notes, and they didn't transfer over when I copy-pasted them. So I missed
No.
something important that I wanted to talk about.
That's what we in the industry call a big oof.
Okay, well we didn't miss it too much. So really quickly, because I don't want to leave this out, this is very interesting information. I was looking up like addiction with emergency medicine, like addiction per specialty, like by specialty. And the American Addiction Center's website says although emergency medicine physicians account for only 3% of all physicians, they account for 7 to 18% of physicians enrolled in physician health programs for substance abuse management. A recent study of emergency medicine physicians treated by a physician health program showed that nearly half were treated for alcohol abuse, 38% for opioids, and almost 10% for stimulants. Another study found that emergency medicine physicians used more illicit drugs, such as marijuana, compared to other specialties. Emergency medicine physicians experience burnout rates of 60%, which is the highest rate among all physician specialties, which is freaking crazy. So that takes us back to Mohan. 40% of physicians in general experience high levels of burnout and depersonalization, which is like dissociating, like feeling out of body is what that is. So that's, she's definitely riding an adrenaline high here and doesn't know the kind of like mental trouble she's getting herself into. She's incredible and we all adore her, and she's very competent and one of the best doctors, and we hear this all the time, but also like incredibly not well, like very much on track to follow Robbie. McKay says that the job can't be Samira's life, and she takes offense to that. And we find out she doesn't like socializing outside of work. She's not in a relationship, and it's like, oh, girl, like you literally eat, sleep, and work. What? I'm like, that's
Rough.
sad.
Samira, have a little hobby, go bowling on the weekends.
So McKay now goes to talk to David, and oh my lord, I love this scene. I love this scene. She asks if he knows what it's like to be afraid and like truly frightened for his safety. And he's like, yeah, I got a taste of it tonight. She's like, right. She's like, yes, finally, I have something. I've got him like a little hook. And she's like, right. And then she says, imagine feeling that way like every single day from 50% of the people you meet, because that's what it is for women. Mal, you live in New York City. Like, and now I'm sure you can like flash your little lizard and scare people away, but.
Yeah, I do carry her around sometimes. I do have her on the train, and I'm like, I would unzip my jacket and sick my lizard on you.
She's a dragon, technically.
That is true. It's my personal defense dragon.
Dragon. I don't do that tongue thing.
I mean, I think there's a certain amount of like nervousness that I have around anyone on the streets. Like, I don't walk around with headphones on anymore most of the time because I just want to be aware of my surroundings. And I know like it's not just men, but a lot of times it is men. And yeah, but also I'm like, I try not to live my life in a way where I'm like looking over my shoulder all the time, because I also do believe that at the end of the day, most people are good people and are going to make the right choice. But also, you need to watch out for the very few people who are not going to make the right choice. So,
I definitely have.
in conclusion, yeah.
Yeah. I definitely when I'm around women and like non-binary folks, trans folks, I don't really think about it much, but when I'm around men, like cis men, there's always that thought of like, are you gonna hurt me? And it's not even like I'm thinking it actively. My brain is just kind of like, you can hurt me, Like if I say this thing that you don't like, are you gonna hurt me? Even though I think you're a cool person, I don't know, it's weird, but I think it's just kind of ingrained in women as like and minorities as just like a survival instinct, which is so sad.
Right.
But then also, McKay says, how would you feel if your mom was on someone's eliminate list? And it again makes me so sad that like that's how we have to frame women's issues for people to give a shit. Like, oh, she's
like
someone's mom, she's someone's daughter. And it's like,
how would you like it if this was your daughter? Like, why does it have to be this hypothetical woman who is related to you in order for you to care,
Right. Exactly. I just had the thought that, like, McKay is, like, the boy mom that you can actually trust. She doesn't post that weird shit online, you know? Robbie's gonna go outside and have a little snicky snack. He tells McKay that David is likely gonna be stuck in the ER for his entire 72-hour hold. And McKay's like, yeah, but that's okay if he gets the help he needs. And Robbie, like, shrugs and shakes his head, and I just want to break his nose.
Yeah.
He's still like, I don't know why the fuck he has this mentality. Like, Robbie, for the most part, is a decent enough fella, but he's like, nope, your job. You have to fix this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just continually lets me down in this arena.
In this
you know?
episode, honestly, because I also think that him taking that father into the morgue was not the right call.
Right. And I love the fact that they're like, oh, season 2 is, they're like, it's 10 months later and Robbie's about to take a sabbatical. And I'm like, now?
Yeah,
He's
7
going
months
to?
later, he's taking a sabbatical?
10 months later, he's taking sabbatical? Bitch, please. We're like, oh, good, he finally figured it out. On his motorcycle, bitch. So,
like, you should have done that before now, actually. Fun fact.
And also, sell the fucking motorcycle. So, Santos wants a psych eval for Max. Ellis says, that's fine, but, like, you need to go home. And she's like, I just want to stay and, like, get through to him, which is okay. They allow it, which I'm also like, no, somebody needs to put their fucking foot down. Nobody's like, straight up, get the fuck out. Like, why is no one putting they're like, okay, sure, I guess. And I'm like, no, get out. So I was thinking about Santos and the friend that we learn about, and I
Go home, Santos.
Go home, Santos. I looked into the rates of suicide in high school student athletes. It's lower than like the general population of ages 10 to 24.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's the third leading cause versus being the second for like the general population of that age. But among college student athletes, it's the second leading. And a study from 2002 that was like done from 2002 to 2022 showed a more than doubling of the rates of collegiate athletes by suicide. It went from 7.6% to 15.3%.
Fucking wild.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Langdon comes out to talk to Robbie. We finally get like the answer as to like what the hell is going on. He's treating withdrawal symptoms with benzos. He says something about how he could like be denied future jobs, he could have his privileges revoked, all this other stuff. And Robbie's like, that's not true anymore. So I looked it up. You can't have your privileges revoked for going to rehab, but you can for poor behavior or unprofessionalism / malpractice related to your addiction or your recovery. There's also a registry that you have to be reported to for certain infractions. And so, like, if you're under investigation and you surrender your medical license while being under investigation voluntarily, that has to be reported to this database.
I like how Langdon is like, come on, man, you never heard of second chances. And Robbie lays out, I think, a very straightforward, here's your second chance. 30-day inpatient treatment, random urine test 50 to 60 times weekly throughout a year. That's roughly twice a week-ish. 3 to 4 NA meetings for 3
you just said
3 years.
50 to 60 times weekly.
Oh.
I don't know if I pee that much. God damn.
Those are rookie numbers.
Go piss, Frank.
Come on, you're not peeing like 9 times a day? Crazy. You're not hydrated enough. Drink more water.
I'm not.
No, I misread the notes that you wrote. 50 to 60 times per year, which roughly is like once or twice a week. 3 to 4 NA meetings
which also feels like a lot to me. Like if you're gonna be like, oh, random drug testing, I'm like, okay, every couple weeks, not multiple times a week.
It's not random if I know it's coming, bitch.
It's random because for the most part, from what I understand, they can just show up wherever you are, whenever you are, and be like, pee in a cup now.
Oh.
Like that's the randomness of, they can literally like knock on your door at like 3 a.m. and be like, hey, 3 a.m., pee in a cup time.
This time.
What's that thing from SpongeBob where it's like, what kind of idiot eats a Krabby Patty at 3 a.m.? Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Mal doesn't know.
No, I don't, but it sounds funny.
What kind of idiot pees in a cup at 3 a.m.? Langdon, oh boy, 3 a.m. This is, I think, very, very reasonable. It's intense, obviously, but Langdon, he's like, come on, man, I'm not the only one who's a little fucked up. I didn't have a complete meltdown. I don't understand what you mean by Robbie then blames Langdon for his own meltdown. Like, I don't think that's what's happening.
He says, like, you just cause them. He's like, I never had a complete meltdown. And he's like, you just cause them in others. And I'm like, oh, you can't blame Langdon for the fact that you had a meltdown. That's crazy work.
I don't know how I keep missing
I
that
hope
line.
he's stretched before that reach, because Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no. I think that the Langdon issue contributed? Yes. Was that even the worst thing that happened to him today? No.
No.
Not even close. I don't even know if
He's
that
like,
makes
oh my
the top
God,
10.
Frank. You made me say Frank out loud, and I had a meltdown. Like, but a night shift nurse saw Robbie and Peds and was gossiping, and Langdon heard about it. And Robbie says that this job will fuck you up if you let it, and that Langdon let it. And, like, that's rich coming from Robbie. I really wish that Langdon had been like, oh, hold on, got his, like, phone out and, like, turned on selfie mode and just, like, turned it around. Be like, looking in the mirror, buddy. You too. What the fuck?
Pot kettle.
Yeah. Hot pot kettle. So when I initially watched this scene, and I've told you this is going to sound like one of the worst things I'm ever going to say, but I'd like to explain myself. When I saw this scene for the first time, and I talked about it with you guys for the first time, I was like, if I was in Robbie's shoes, and the guy I'm trying to help desperately, even though he deserved it, fine, whatever, help out where he can help out. If I'm trying to be like, hey, you need to undergo all these treatments to narrowly avoid, getting arrested and charged with federal drug possession from stealing from hospital, blah, blah, blah. If I do all that, and then you're like, oh, at least I'm not having breakdowns and talking to cartoon animals and peds, and yeah, and then, Robbie goes like, fuck you! I definitely had the thought, and there's a couple of reasons why this can't work, obviously. I definitely had the thought where I was like, okay, fuck this guy. Let me go get my friend Officer Harrelson over here. Hey, Officer Harrelson, that man, I have proof that he's been stealing drugs from the hospital. Arrest him. And very instantaneously and rightfully, Camille shot back and she was like, that's not what should happen. And I agree. That's not what should happen. I'm not saying that as that's the correct thing to do. I'm saying that in Robbie's extreme distress right now, that's something that I wouldn't be surprised he would have done, and then immediately regret it afterwards. All this to say, however, it can't happen because the police left. Officer Harrelson left once the whole like McKay thing got taken care of. So there's no police there, as far as I'm aware. He can't do that. He wouldn't even be tempted with that idea.
Right. Like, I think they've got like hospital police, but they're basically like mall cops. I don't think they have any real authority.
I want to stress so much that I do think it would be very bad to, in Frank's hour of need, where he's struggling with an addiction to benzos and he's scared and he's trying not to lose his job and he's trying to still keep whatever semblance of a friendship relationship with Robbie he can, the wrong choice would be to get the cops on him.
Mm-hmm. I definitely, this almost, God, there are so many like callback moments in this episode as we wrap up the season where I just think like Robbie literally handed Langdon his ass earlier for yelling and belittling students.
Very
and
true.
Here he is with his mentee giving him no compassion, no empathy, no understanding, no like, we're going to talk about this in the morning, we both need some sleep. No, he was like, get out of my face, I don't want to see you, I don't want to have to tell you again. There's no level-headed reaction to this.
Yeah.
And I think
definitely is taking it like very personally and emotionally.
Very personally, absolutely, yes. Very much. Like, this is about me and what you've done to me, which is like, wow. Like, you're taking this as in, like, your family. Again, you're not. We've said this before, when your employer's like, we're a family here. No, you're fucking not. You're coworkers, right? You don't owe those people things. You don't, like, it's not the same. You're trauma bonded, right? In the same way that you can be with your family. But, like, no, we're not family. And so Robbie lacks so much professionalism. And, like, it tracks with the day he's had, but like, bro, this is a big oof.
I also do think that there's a little bit of a difference between like, hey, you just caught your mentee who you've worked with for a long time doing something that is illegal, stealing drugs from the hospital, versus like, hey, it's Santos's first day, and like, sure, she's messed up, but like the way that you're yelling at her is not cool.
There's a difference, but also the principle of the matter is kind of the same.
Right.
Because it all boils down to the same thing. Even just at like a baseline, he should have started with that respect.
But I also wonder if that's part of the reason why he sent Langdon home, because he knew that it was going to just be a problem the rest of the day and he wasn't going to be able to be level-headed about it, you know?
Yeah, he definitely wasn't in the moment.
Yeah.
Cue Robert.
No, he's
Go home, Frank.
Go home, Frank.
We need to just have a button that we hit.
If I ever get Noah Wiley on this podcast, I need to like try and do my Robbie impressions and have him look at me disappointingly.
You'd screen record it and like play it on a loop. You'd
Go
like,
home,
get
Frank.
one of those photo frames that like plays videos, and you'd put it just his disappointed face on your bedside. So again, we have another really beautifully lit scene. It's a dark scene, like it's nighttime, but it's lit well enough that you can see everything. And I asked JoJo, who is the director of photography on the show, about like this trend of over darkening scenes, because most shows nowadays, even like children's shows, if they're outside, if it's nighttime, it's dark. You can't see shit. And like RIP the characters of color, you can't even see them. Okay? There is a very specific scene from a very specific show that I'm thinking of, and you literally can barely see the main character, and then he has his two friends with him, both people of color with dark skin, and you can't fucking see them. And it's a children's show. So I asked JoJo about it, and she said that like darkening a scene like that is sometimes useful, like if you're hiding something within the scene, like if you're gonna use it for a scare. But she said that too many people are just getting "it's dark outside" confused with just not being able to see. And she was like, your audience should never be complaining about the fact that they can't see. If that's the point you've got to, like, you've made a mistake. So, because I reached out to her and I was just like, oh my God, your outdoor scenes are beautiful. Like, they're nighttime scenes and they're beautiful. I can actually see everything. Hopefully we'll get to talk to her in the future and talk more about that. But she's wonderful, and just, I love seeing her vision for things. So Robbie and Abbott, Gloria asked them to speak at the press conference, and they both say no. And Robbie's like, trust me, you don't want me in front of the press right now. And Abbott says, or ever.
Yeah, honestly. And it's wild to me that Gloria would allow Robbie to speak to the press at this, like, ever, considering the way that they disagree. Like, this is wild to me.
Yeah. So we now have this Code Tan patient who has been over transfused. So basically, he was finally clotting. The internal bleeding was clotting, but they've now given him so much blood that it's blowing the clots. So he's bleeding out again. And Shin was supervising this case. So I think this is an interesting moment where I think they use this as a way to show us, like, it never stops. Also, Shin is incredibly new at being an attending, so much so that even Walsh from surgery thinks that he's still a resident. But no, he's an attending. And then we have Ellis apologizing. And it's this like rare moment of humility from one of the doctors where she's like, I'm sorry if I gave him too much blood. I didn't know, like, and it's interesting, but I thought it was weird how Robbie like dismisses her from the case. I thought it was a little strange. So
because he's very willing to let people make up for their mistakes, and the fact that he's not here, you're right, is interesting.
Yeah. We get this brief cut to Flynn's father saying they talked, they want to do the spinal tap. Mel is thrilled. As soon as he walks away, that like mask drops and she's so relieved. So we go back. Robbie is just like mentally clocking out now. He's literally staring into space.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all like, hello.
They're all like, hey, you good?
Hello, anyone home? Think, McFly.
But like 4 times in this scene, someone's like, hello. You there?
Somebody needs to get Robbie to say to Robbie, "Go home, Michael."
I did the math, by the way. And at this rate, if anyone was scheduled to work again the next day shift and like goes home and all this, like at this rate, they're gonna get 7 hours of sleep if they go straight home and they don't bathe and they don't eat, they don't do anything else, and then they get up and they get ready and get to the hospital in less than an hour the next morning. I can't function on like less than 8 hours of sleep. That's insane to me.
I regularly function on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I regularly function on about 5.
God,
Last
no,
night,
I literally...
we were all up way late, and then Robert and I both got up at like 5 a.m. So we were all up until like midnight. So
yeah,
I called out of work because I woke up feeling like shit. I was like, I can't do this.
Oh my God, Camille.
You gotta take care of yourself.
No, I mean, you do. I didn't know you called out of work.
Yeah. So we go back to Santos with the blue man, Max, and she tells Max that her friend committed suicide and that there is not a single day that she doesn't regret not being able to stop her friend, but that there's also not a day that she isn't grateful that she didn't do it too. And Max finally admits that he says, I don't want to be here anymore, and he agrees to talk to a professional. Please pick up the phone.
To a professional.
Please talk to a professional. Please pick up the phone, call the suicide hotline.
They're there 24/7. There's only ever going to be one you. Please try and stick around for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Amen.
There are definitely a lot of people that I think are passively suicidal who could also benefit from talking to someone. Don't you dare. Robert's giggling.
I'm giggling because I feel a little bit called out, but I'm going to therapy, so it's fine.
I've been there. Like, I called a suicide hotline when I was in high school, I think, because I was just constantly thinking if I fell in front of a bus and got hit and died, that would be okay. That's called being passively suicidal.
And that's
also
not good.
Not okay. And they talked to me for like 2.5 hours, and then they called me the next day to check on me, and I was okay. I kept going. But I got to a point where I literally had such a bad day. And I've always been someone who can like imagine the future and imagine like daydream and all this kind of stuff. And I had a moment where I was like, when I think of the future, I don't see anything at all. It's just black. And that was the moment where I was like, all right, I'm calling somebody. They are finally doing a spinal tap on Flynn. And it's very suspicious that Mom is not there.
But it's also like it's not suspicious at all. Like, I didn't think about it until she came back in and was like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, he didn't have...
Oh, I had a feeling. I was like, Mom is not here. Dad has found them in the hallway to tell them that they've changed their mind. Mom is not here now. And then Mom comes in and she's like, the fuck? She's like, take it out right now. Like, take the needle out of his spine, which is like, oh, stop saying it that way. You're making it sound so like, barbaric.
I do find it funny that Mel is sort of like, yep, I'm taking it out right, like dribbling in the last of the final two. Right now. All right, we're done.
So we also find out that Doug Driscoll has been arrested.
Press charges, girly.
Like, Doug, I love your new bracelets. Where did you get them, bitch?
Hey, maybe take a little nap, take a bath or a shower, whatever you want to do. Drink a little glass of wine, relax a little, and then press charges.
Drink some California half and half, straight from the jug.
It's pasteurized. You won't get tuberculosis.
So Robbie, we have this like mirror moment with him and Langdon again, where Robbie asks Dana what she's heard about him. And it's just this moment of like, I'm also like, Dana, I'm tired for you, girl. Goddamn, why do they all think? They're like, Dana, you're up in everyone's business. What have you heard about me today? But he's basically trying to make sure that like the rumor about him talking to cartoon animals hasn't spread. So we also cut to the girl with the fork in the nose, and they are going to call in their utensil specialist.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. We're going to get our utensil specialist, who is,
Shen.
who is Shen.
Would you guys, if you had a fork in your nose, would you call an ambulance?
That's a great question. I think I would probably get a ride. Ambulances are expensive.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so think about it as if there's not a cost, because, like, subtle flex, I have great insurance. So, like, in that scenario, my health insurance would cover both the hospital and the ambulance ride 100%, because it would be an accidental injury. So, I honestly think I would call an ambulance at that point, because I'd be like, well, I want a painkiller, like, immediately. Like, immediately. You're telling me that girl walked into the ER with a fork in her nose and has made it back here and she still doesn't have painkillers. Y'all didn't like give her something in the waiting room? Nothing? That's
Yeah,
crazy
you're
work to
right.
me.
That's crazy.
So, Mohan is finally having her breakdown moment in the bathroom. And the set here is very carefully designed. I really appreciated it, really loved it. There was like blood that was on the mirror but looks like it's been haphazardly cleaned. And then it's on the sink, it's on the wall, it's on the trash can, it's on the floor. Like it's just very, very thoughtful placement of like it's art, basically. I just think it's incredible. Like it's amazing to me the thought that goes into. It's not like, oh, we're gonna put fake blood in the sink. Like no, they put thought into like the color, the consistency,
Is it
where.
viscous?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
So
from mucus, but either way, it's just still is it viscous? Did somebody sneeze in the sink?
ew. Also, we have this conversation between Mohan, Mel, and Donahue, and they're like, "How are you functioning?" And she's like, "I don't require much sleep, and I have a fast metabolism."
Girl, you're about to crash so fucking hard, like Jesus.
Oh my god. And Robbie's speech to everybody is just so heavy. And I was sitting there watching it, and I feel like I've watched it a million times at this point. And which I mean I have, but I had this moment where I was like, oh my god, they don't get paid extra for days like this. Like this is just standard pay.
Nope.
There's no cat pay. There's no bonus, nothing. It's just a regular day at work with nothing extra. Maybe a pizza party if you're lucky.
I was gonna say maybe a pizza party, but like, or if you want to be even cheaper, maybe bagels.
Yeah. So Mateo then invites Javati to get a drink, and she's like, "Yes, when?" And he's like, "Now." And her face is like, wah, because she's exhausted. And then she realizes it's not just them, it's like a whole group thing that he's inviting her to, which is a very good, very kind first step, right? I will say. It's very kind. We can tell as McKay is leaving that somebody has come to see David, to talk to David. And then McKay's son calls, or she's on the phone with her son, and he says that he hasn't gone to bed because they just started watching Planet of the Apes. And she said, "What have I told you about scary movies? Or what did I say about scary movies?" Question, I've never seen Planet of the Apes. Is it a scary movie?
I mean, it's a little rough to
Or is just the
watch.
premise creepy?
Yeah, the premise in general is kind of creepy, but like, I don't know. His granddad's Chucky. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I think that's the joke, to be honest. I think that's the only reason those lines are in the show is for that reason, is for the Chucky of it all.
If they wanted to go full joke, they'd have been like, Grandpa's showing me Child's Play, and it's like, oh, Dad.
So Santos is clocking out, and she sees Whitaker like sneaking through the lobby and up the stairs, and she's taking her hair down. Her hair is beautiful. She has beautiful hair. My god. So like there's like this suspicious like what's going on? And then we have Dana taking stuff off of her desk, and she's like gazing around like, this is my final look at this place, like she's actually going to quit. And Robbie is standing in front of the wall of Frontline Heroes, which is where we have the photo of Doc Adamson that he was looking at the beginning of the day. I did actually try to look up some of these people to see if they might have been like actual doctors that died during COVID or something, and they're not. They're not real people.
I wouldn't have even thought to look that up.
They're real people. I don't think they're real doctors.
It's AI, bitch. No, AI does not belong in creative spaces. Thank you very much. So Whitaker Santos has followed him to a floor where the lights are flickering. It's very spooky. Like the lights are off, but the ones that are on are flickering. It's super creepy. And I cracked the fuck up at the fact that like this Victorian man-child, this Victorian ghost, sleeps on a gurney every night.
Right.
And he's bathing using like baby wipes.
I thought he could. My guy could get a fucking gym membership or something and go to the gym. God forbid, somebody introduced this little boy to fucking protein. It's amazing. I think you hear Jaron Howell's accent break through when he freaks the fuck out as Whitaker. When Santos comes up behind him, he's like, "Oh my god!"
We find out that Whitaker did internal medicine at the hospital last month, so that's why he's been staying there, because he's like, sometimes after a long shift, I sleep here. Liar. Well, actually, not quite a liar. He's truthin', but half truthin'.
He's lying by omission because he's omitting why. Like, yeah, it's true that he sleeps there sometimes after a rough shift. However, he sleeps there after every shift.
Yeah. And she was like, this is your first day. And he's like, no. And he's between places and between cars. But Santos has an extra room, and he's like, that's awesome. That's great for you. I love that he just thinks that she's like, I have an extra room.
Like, okay, why are you bragging right now?
I'm so like brain rotted by fanfic Santos, where fanfic Santos is a struggling, intern barely making ends meet with Whitaker. So the idea that she just casually has a place with an extra room and it doesn't seem like Whitaker not paying rent is gonna hurt her anyway is throwing me for a loop a little bit.
I know, I'm like, where the fuck does she get money from? I put in rent.com, 2-bedroom apartments for rent in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 0 rentals available. Oh my god. Why are there none? Let's just do average rent on 2 bedrooms, Pittsburgh. Approximately $1,600 a month.
That hurts.
Yeah,
$1,600 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm paying like $15 for a 1 right now. Fuck.
Ooh.
Okay, you want to know what the average in my city is for a 2-bedroom?
We shouldn't live in places that are so expensive.
I live in a place that's dirt fucking cheap. No one's heard of the fucking town I live in.
The average rent in my city for a 2-bedroom is $1,850.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Average rent for 2-bedroom apartment in New York City is approximately $5,500.
Yep, a lot.
Jesus fucking Christ. So Santos tells Whitaker, was it a dick joke? Who left that note?
I left that comment.
Okay. So Santos tells Whitaker to just keep to himself and not annoy her, and to wear clothes, basically. And she says, I know Krav Maga. And he says, I don't know who that is, but he sounds very protective of you. And my note here just says, rip.
I mentioned this a couple episodes back when we were talking about like Zionism and how, it's bad. In like every fucking Disney like television program, for some reason, a character, if they need to know some form of martial arts, they all know Krav Maga. So it's a little wild to see this get mentioned and thrown in. Like you could have used any other form of martial arts, but it had to specifically be Krav Maga. I'm not accusing the Pit of doing.
Is that an Israeli thing?
Yeah, it was a form of self-defense created for the IDF.
Mm-hmm.
I had no fucking clue.
Yep.
Interesting. We see Robbie and Jake and Jake's white mom. And sorry. Robbie tells Jake that it's okay to blame him, but he shouldn't blame himself. And Jake is like, fuck you, you're not my real dad. Basically. Like, that's a quote.
And that really hurts Robbie. Like, you could see his fucking heartbreak.
This is the moment where he's like, I'm gonna buy a donor cycle. I'm gonna do it. So Leah's parents arrive, and we don't really get to see them or like the moment, which honestly I think is good. There's already a lot happening. I don't think we would have really got anything from seeing the whole scene play out. So we really only see Robbie enter and exit, and then he starts to have a panic attack. And rather than going back into the ED, he goes up to the roof because he's like, it's done, folks. This is the time. So I wonder how many people watch this show and are just like, they're just getting some air. That's why they're on the roof. Instead of being like, they're thinking about killing themselves. Like, how many people don't get it? How many casual watchers or like casual viewers did not understand the implication of them being on the roof, you know? But yet another parallel, you know, to the beginning, we have Robbie going up to the roof. And we cut to Mel picking up Becca, and she has this moment where she's dissociating while she's waiting for Becca. And I think we talked about this in our interview with Tal Anderson,
which you can go listen to earlier in our feed.
So this reminds me of in the very beginning of episode 1, Jack saying to her, "Don't worry, you'll get there soon enough," about having like an existential crisis. And she's absolutely having one in this moment. She is starting to really, really clock out. And then I laugh because, you know, daylight savings just happened. And so now Becca walks outside and she's like, "It's so dark out." And I was like, yeah, I know. Oh my God.
It's so dark out. Oh my gosh.
I saw this TikTok and it was like the sun starting in November. And it's just Serena from Gossip Girl going, "I have to go," and walking away like over and over again. I have to leave. I gotta get out of here. And so now we're seeing the role reversal of Robbie and Abbott on the roof. And at first, Abbott just like seemed grumpy and unwell, and then like he just seemed like the grumpy coworker, and like Robbie was like the sunshine to balance that out. But now that we're at the end of the season, we realize that like no, Abbott just needed to go home and sleep. They all end up like this, which is an interesting realization to have in your like retrospective, to be like, oh no, like he's not a grumpy person, he's exhausted and emotionally drained. So there's this quote that I wrote down, and Abbott says, "We survived as a species because," Jesus Christ, with a lisp, this is impossible to say. I'm really struggling. "We survived as a species because we learned how to cooperate and communicate. So when we're in the middle of killing each other, it defies the very logic of our existence." And I thought that was very powerful. Did anybody else, when watching this scene, see how close they were and be like, "Now kiss!"
Now kiss. A little bit, yeah, no. And like they keep looking at each other like that. It's weird. It's also again weird to me to know that this scene was filmed at like roughly the same time as the morning version of the scene when it's Abbott about to fall.
It was the same day.
Yeah, the same day. Roughly like I can imagine they waited for, you know, day to shift into night. So it's weird for me to know that not too long ago, time relative, these actors had a much like it's a similar but also very different interaction. That would be like the first interaction we get between these two characters.
Mm-hmm. It's also very interesting to me, like kudos to hair and makeup for the fact that you don't look at them and go, yeah, they look very different. Like, no, I believe that this all happened sequentially, but it didn't. But I also thought it was interesting, Sean Hattasey and Noah Wiley have both talked about how they didn't have the lived experience of playing out the scripts when they filmed that scene. They hadn't filmed the rest of the season. They had filmed a little bit and like the scene from the morning, and that was it. So they didn't have anything else. Like if you think about it, Sean Hattasey was probably like his first scene because everything else is inside.
True.
So they filmed that stuff in Pittsburgh at Allegheny General. And so like they film all of that in Pittsburgh and then they come back. They go to LA for everything internal. We've talked about this before, that the scene where Robbie follows David out of the hospital in the morning is partially in Pittsburgh and partially in LA. When Robbie and Abbott are walking out, did you guys notice that there is a cheerleader with like a measles rash on her arm?
I did not, but now I'm looking at it again. I'm like, shoot. Maybe that'll be a small subplot of, measles has spread.
Myrna comes back. She's looking sexy. She had a seizure. A sexy seizure. Say that 5 times fast. So we also have another banger of a quote, which is, "My therapist thinks I find comfort in the darkness." Also, the rats are back. They are on this journalist. Nobody told Shin and Ellis about the rats. So they've run away, and this man is screaming about rats. And they're like, okay, sir, we'll get right on that.
And they start talking about like implementing treatment, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna like shove things into
concussion
this
and
guy.
hallucinations.
Yeah. But what are you talking about? There's no rats. Camille, are you okay? Are you hallucinating rats?
Oh my god. I've got 5 of them running around right now. I really like that Abbott and Robbie go to join everyone in the park. It's not like, oh, the boss guys aren't invited, you know? Like, no, they get invited too. We find out that Abbott has a fake leg, but I'm sure that he has a secret spare third. Like, if there's one thing I know about Jack Abbott, he has a third leg.
And this is what I added a comment to in the notes, and I said, a dick joke on my Christian podcast? Just FYI.
Forgive us our sins. Forgive us our sins. Okay? Anyway, they also say to the Pitt Crew, here, here. To
Here,
us.
here. Raise a glass
To
to the
us.
3 of us. Tomorrow there won't be more of us.
Oh, now we're gonna start singing Hamilton. So Javadi's too young to drink, but Robbie's like, don't worry, it's fine. Like, we're not gonna tell your mom. And she's like, oh, shut up. Because Mateo's like, don't worry, I won't tell your mom. And she's like, oh, shut up. And then she goes, no, but really, you can't tell her.
How old were you guys when you had your first sippy sip of alcohol? I was like 14, 15.
Ooh.
Like my first like sip or a
Okay,
drink?
sip is because I had a sip when I was maybe like 12. Like my first the first time I was like hanging out with like my dad, he's like, you can grab a beer and have it. I was like 15, 16.
The first time I had like a full drink, I think I was 20.
I was 21.
Nerds.
It was on my 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Yeah.
I'm dabbing on the
Christian
nerds.
girls.
Good Christian girls. I roll on the side of anarchy and having a beer occasionally. Mohan lets her hair down, and I'm like, God damn, Mohan, why is everyone pretty when they let their hair down? I don't wanna step into like the 80s trope of like, oh, the quote unquote ugly
She
nerdy
takes
girl.
off her
Take
glasses,
the glasses
her
off.
hair down,
Yeah.
and she's been beautiful this whole time.
Yeah, I don't want to edge into that, but I do want to say, I'm like, damn, okay, hold on. Honestly, everyone there, hot, question mark. I don't know. My little bisexual brain is like, yes, pretty people.
Yes, everyone is hot.
I just know taking her hair down felt good, though. The way she, like, pulls her fingers through her hair, I'm like, hell yeah. I know that felt good.
Oh, yeah.
And then Robbie starts laughing, and everyone's like, what's funny? And he's like, I just realized this is your first shift. Because, of course,
Ha ha ha,
poor Giovanni.
hilarious.
And she says, at least I didn't get peed on.
But you know, that's fair. That's a
so
fair
valid.
assessment.
And then just before Robbie is going to walk away, they say, beer for the road? And my thought was, Jesus Christ, he drank an entire beer already?
I need you to know that men will drink beer the way most people drink water. If you're a man who drinks beer, like, really, not just like social.
Mal.
I hardly ever drink, really and truly.
Same. I had my party days when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, and now it's like, oh, I had 2 drinks, time to go to sleep. Oh, I have a headache in the morning. But yeah, no, I've definitely met men who drink beer like they drink water. Which is to say they don't drink water. So yeah, for Robbie to finish a standard, I think it's like a 12-ounce can of beer or 8-ounce can of beer or whatever in a few minutes chatting with friends, absolutely. Because if you wait longer, if you like casually sip a beer over time, it gets warm and it gets flat and it gets disgusting. So yeah, beers you kind of have to drink a little on the fast side.
I mean, yeah, you do have to drink a beer in a reasonable amount of time, but that doesn't mean you have to drink it like you drink water.
That's insane. That's just gross. Also, illegal for him to be drinking a beer while he's walking around, I think. Probably in Pittsburgh. Probably, allegedly.
I don't, I would imagine that there are open container laws.
No, it is illegal to walk and drink in public in Pittsburgh because Pennsylvania law prohibits open containers of alcohol in public spaces and also has public intoxication laws. You can be charged with an open container violation for having an open beer between establishments and with public intoxication if you are visibly drunk, which can lead to fines and a criminal record.
Another parallel. We love a parallel. Cut right back to Baby by Robert Bradley's Backwater Surprise, which was a wild band name. A backwater surprise? What the fuck is that? Any final thoughts?
What a fucking show. I mean,
I feel like I've been on this shift with them, to be quite honest. I'm so tired.
this shift has lasted for us for like 4 months.
Right, so really we had it worse.
Yeah. I think we should next week release a big like season wrap up overall thoughts kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when we'll really go into a lot of detail of like our final thoughts about the entirety of season 1. But what I can definitely say now is this is not just like the main focus of the show shouldn't be how medically accurate it is, although like, yes, we love medical accuracy in a medical drama. What I love so much about this show are the people, and what I love so much about this show is the emotion.
The storytelling is really incredible in every facet, right? In the clothing, in the details of the background, in the audio, in everything. You know, the hair and makeup. It's all masterful storytelling. It's very impressive.
Yeah, very good.
What are we going to call this episode?
Great question.
To the Pitt Crew?
I think that actually works great. To the Pitt Crew.
Great, love that. To the Pitt Crew.
To the Pitt Crew.
Well, I think we should all sign off at the same time.
Go home, Camille. Go home, Mel.
Go home, Robert. Well, if that's all,
so long, fellow losers.
The Pitt Crew podcast is created and produced by us, Robert, Mal, and Camille. It's edited by me, Robert. You can find us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at Pitt Crew Podcast. If you'd like to support our other projects, our socials are linked in the show notes below. Our art is by Rampacoca. He can be found on Instagram at Rampacoca. All patient questions and concerns can be emailed to pitcrewpodcast@gmail.com. Now, this isn't a Taco Bell, but we do appreciate a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to schedule a follow-up appointment with a nurse before you go. See you next time.